Hello guys and welcome to this ninth video of the series implementing secure CI/CD pipelines. In the last video we had a look at how can we use Jenkins and Maven to automatically build a product and produce a var file for us for further consumption. Now in this video we will look at how can we take that var file that was generated by Maven and we can deploy it on the Tomcat server. So each time our commit happens, we can make sure that our changes are reflected and are being deployed on the production. Now for this purpose, we need deploy to container plugin in Jenkins that we have already installed and SSH agent plugin that also we have already installed. Now just to make you sure, let me just go ahead and log into my Tomcat instance. Okay, so as we had done the installation in some of the previous videos, we can go to prod and we can see our Apache is installed here. And inside Apache and web apps, these are all the web applications that are hosted on Apache. So if we look this particular thing, if we take this thing technically, what we actually need to do is we need to take the war file and we need to keep it inside this particular directory in the Tomcat server. Now since these Jenkins and Tomcat are working on different servers, we need to perform, let's say, SCP into this, and using secure copy we can copy the war file here. So let's check how can we actually achieve this thing. So before moving forward, we need to store the credentials of SSH Tomcat in our Jenkins. And for that, we'll go to Jenkins, credentials. Inside Jenkins, we'll say global credentials and add some credentials. We will say it's SSH username with private key, and ID is the parameter from which you will identify these credentials. So I'll say this is Tomcat. Description is Tomcat SSH Credentials. Username is Ubuntu. Private key, let's say we'll enter directly. So this is the private key that we obtained. If we go and check what's there inside, copy this and paste it here. We can see our Ubuntu SSH credentials are being specified. Okay, so now in order to use these SSH credentials and perform a secure copy in the Tomcat instance, we need to add some code in our pipeline. So let's do this. So this is our build stage, and once build is completed, we will say that, let's say the stage name is deploy to Tomcat, and what it actually performs is it will use an SSH agent that will use the credentials that we have just defined with the ID Tomcat, and now it will perform a shell command that will do a secure copy, and strict host key checking equals to no means the initial thing that we get when we do SSH. We want to say that we don't want that error message or the debug message, and what we want to do is we want to take the file that is inside the target slash any of the war file. We know only one war file is created, so target slash war, and we want to copy the file to Ubuntu at the rate. So let me check the IP of Tomcat, and in this AWS console we can see the IP of Tomcat is this one. Let me just copy this, and inside my pipeline we want to go to the Ubuntu user in this particular machine, and we want to save the war file here where all our things are stored. So it's in prod Apache Tomcat and this. So I will just say that So here I am saying that SCP use no strict host checking, copy the file that is inside the target folder which is having any name with the extension var. Now since we know there is only one such file, we are taking that particular file and using these credentials to log into our Tomcat instance and then save the file to prod Apache Tomcat 8.5.39 slash webapps slash webapp.var. So whenever we want to try to access our application, we need to go ahead and just do a slash webapp. So let's just save this file and let's check what happens. But before that, let me just go ahead and show you. Here nothing is hosted as of now. So on port 8080 slash webapp, this doesn't provide anything. Okay, so it's HTTPS. Okay, so it says 404, nothing is found. Now we have committed the code here. If we go in our Jenkins pipeline in this particular product, and if we say build now, let's see what happens. So it's using Maven to clean and package. Okay, so now it has failed because it says that prod Apache Tomcat web apps slash webapp.var has permission denied. So let's go ahead and change the permission of web apps directory so that anyone can write into this. So let's go here. We have this web apps directory which is having only read and executable permissions for other users. So we will use chmod and let's say 777 on web apps. However, this is not the recommended way, but I'm just trying to do it to make it work for now. You can define the strict permissions based upon the user. So now if I go and just do build now, and you can see it says success. Now if you go here and just refresh the page, and you can see the web application has been hosted. So this is a very basic example of how a CI/CD pipeline works. It took your code from your code repository, it helped in doing the heavy duty tasks of building the product, and then it finally took the executable file and deployed it on the Tomcat server. So I hope you like this video, and just to show you in blue ocean, so you can see now we have 3 steps. The initialization is completed in less than 1 second. The build is completed in 3 seconds. That means we have created the final executable war file. We took that particular war file, SCP'd and deployed to our production instance. So this is the code that we wrote. The first thing is simply we are telling that the stage is deployed to Tomcat. And the steps is it uses a particular plugin that is called as SSH agent, in which it uses the credentials that is having the ID as Tomcat. Then it's executing the shell script and using SCP to copy the war file that is being generated by Jenkins to deploy on the Tomcat production instance. So thanks for watching this video and have a great time.